Welcome back to week 6. This week we'll look at all the different kinds of natural resources that I could find online tools for you to examine. And then you're going to look at some international relief aid funding for your forum. So first off, we have an assignment for you to look at these 4 websites, and for each one of them explain what the usefulness for you is personally. What do you notice about the information that's being presented as to how it relates to your life? And then how could a business use the information that's being shown here to make responsible decisions that are related to the resources that are being demonstrated in the in the tool of each website. So each of those you'd write about a paragraph. For each resource here you'd write about 1 paragraph. So a total of 4 paragraphs. The first one is looking at energy production around the world, and you can switch between production, trade, consumption, and energy intensity, and it's explaining what each of those look like and how the world's production across all these different resources, crude oil, natural gas, coal, electricity, renewables, and combustion energy, all these different things are being looked at here. So I just want you to play around on there and see what you can find out about how the United States compares against these other countries and different sorts of energy that we're using. It's the first one. The second one has this slider that shows from 2000 to 2018 and then into the future, which we're in now technically, where all these different coal plants are opening and being constructed and are planned for the future, and where they're closing. So you can see in the region that you're in what it looks like for coal usage in the future. So anytime you hear politicians discussing about the future of coal and what's going to happen there, you can see historically what happened and what's the future look like for coal manufacturing and for coal, power plants. Okay. This next one is the map of life. So if you click on any region you're interested in around the world, it'll give you all the different sources of wildlife and plant life. And you can zoom in and learn more about the area that you live in and what kinds of animals live there. The last one is for electric vehicle charging, and that's just the open charge map. You can zoom in all over the city of LaGrange or wherever you're from and learn more about where it would be possible for you to charge your car and find more information about electrical vehicles. Okay, so if you zoom out in these maps, you'll see wider areas, of course, and you can zoom into the areas that you're interested in particular for what's personally relevant, and you'll start to see more and more information as you play with these tools. So again, for each one of those, what's the usefulness for you personally? How is the information related to your life? And how could a business use that information to make responsible decisions? That's your assignment for the 6th week here, called Tooling Up. Okay. Then you have a forum post that's about international relief for funding, like money that the U.S. government sends to other countries. And we can learn all about what different initiatives are being taken here. So step 1 is for you to generate a random country. So you go to this random list, and I can see I have Liberia, Central African Republic, Algeria, or Moldova. I'm just going to go with Liberia. Okay, Liberia and Sub-Saharan Africa. So that was the first part. Generate a random country. Look up the country on USAID. So go to this website, and I need Liberia. I should know where it is. Hard to see it. There we go, right there. So Liberia has $212 million from the U.S. government promised for international relief and aid. Right. So if I search for Liberia, sorry, might have to click on activities and search for Liberia and hit enter. Okay. Now it might be hard to see here, but all through Liberia, there's all these different activities that are taking place. And you'll probably have to scroll up to the top of this page to see these activities. Pick one that's interesting to you for the country that was randomly assigned to you. So we have narcotics and law enforcement, different literacy efforts, things about food for progress and energy sector projects, all different things for health. I'm going to pick the energy sector project. This is called the Millennium Change Corporation from the U.S. government. They gave $13 million to Liberia and promised that for this MCC energy sector project. This is just an example. Okay? So if I click on that, it brings up some information for me. I can't see a lot, but I can tell that it's from 2017. $13 million was promised. It's called this Millennium Challenge Corporation. And if I click on supporting documents, it might come up with something. It just depends on which one you selected. It might not. You might have to actually look up and track down what happened with that initiative. So you'll have to do a little bit of digging, just depending on which one you pick. And if there's not a lot of information, and that's not the one you want to go with, you can go with a different one, and there might be more information available. Okay, so in this case, Food for Progress has a description that the U.S. agricultural commodities were sent over to the tune of $29 million. Okay, and it started in 2017. If we click on supporting documents, there's not a lot there, but we can search Food for Progress on Google, see what comes up. Okay, so the goal here is for us to find a program that's interesting to you and then explain the following. What was the aid intended to address? So you could focus on the energy one or the health one or the food one or the literacy one, whichever one you want to go with. What amount was promised? Who was receiving the aid? So which organization was getting the money? Where was the money sent to and why? It might be different than who was receiving it. If they received the money and then send it away. When did this donation take place? And was the effort, the donation, and all this money that went, was it effective? So you probably are going to have to look up about the initiative that took place. Read a little bit about why the U.S. sent some money, and then try to see if in some way was the effort effective. Can we say that the money that was donated was truly effective in solving the problem at hand? Right? So you have these two activities for the week: the TULIP and the International Relief Aid. Please let me know if you have any questions at bhunter and the numeral 1 at lagrange.edu, and I'll get right back to you. Thank you. Have a good week.